I'm sure everyone has heard at least one Southern rock song in their lifetime, whether it be Sweet Home Alabama by Leonard Skinner or Up Around the Bend by Creedence Clearwater Revival. These are among some of the most popular songs in the genre of Southern rock. I've been a Southern rock fan for a couple of years now, and I have done a lot of research on my own just for enjoyment. And I'm hoping that with a little information on the creation of the genre and the evolution of the genre, that you will have a chance to discover some good music, and if you are already familiar with the genre, will maybe hear a band that I list or a song that you haven't heard before. Southern rock and roll was something that existed as soon as the creation of rock and roll existed. The birth of rock and roll, after all, was brought on by residents of the Deep South like Elvis Presley, Little Richard, and Jerry Lee Lewis. But soon, British artists and American artists from the cities began popularizing their own kind of rock and roll music, and the music scene moved from the rural South to London, New York, and Los Angeles. Through most of the 60s, rock music departed from its roots and expanded into genres like folk rock and psychedelic rock. In the late 60s, however, bands like Creedence Clearwater Revival and the Band took rock and roll back to its roots, and neither was from the South, CCR being from Northern California and the Band being mostly from Canada. They stripped down the rhythm sections and wrote lyrics about Southern culture. The movement of rock back to its roots paved the way for bands like the Allman Brothers. The Allman Brothers Band from Georgia, coupled with the formation of Capricorn Records in Macon, Georgia in 1969, who signed the Allman Brothers Band along with similar bands like the Marshall Tucker Band from South Carolina and Wet Willie of Alabama, kicked off the creation of Southern rock. The Allman Brothers Band had a twin guitar arrangement along with a rarely seen two-drummer rhythm section. The emphasis on the guitar, along with the lyrics themed in cultural and historical heritage of the South, became the trademark of Southern rock music. Soon, several young musicians from the South were bringing rock and roll music back to where it began. From NewWorldEncyclopedia.org, in a segment on Southern rock updated in 2008, Gregg Allman, the singer and keyboardist of the Allman Brothers Band, was quoted commenting that the term Southern rock is a bit redundant. It's like saying rock rock. In the 70s, Southern rock flourished in a new wave of hard rock-oriented Southern rock bands. The sound had heavy, fast guitars like that of heavy metal, boogie rhythms, and lyrical themes borrowed from the outlaw country movement. The most popular, undoubtedly, of them was Lynyrd Skynyrd, a band from Jacksonville, Florida, who, unlike the blues and jazz-oriented Allman Brothers Band, used a heavier sound created by their three-guitar attack. Lynyrd Skynyrd propelled Southern rock into the mainstream with several hit songs like Freebird, Simple Man, Tuesday's Gone, Sweet Home Alabama, Swamp Music, Call Me the Breeze, and Ballad of Curtis Loew. ZZ Top, The Outlaws, Charlie Daniels Band, Blackfoot, Molly Hatchet, Wet Willie, and Black Oak, Arkansas are among the bands that found popularity in the 70s, the peak of Southern rock. In the late 70s, after tragedy had struck both Lynyrd Skynyrd, a plane crash killing several band members, and the Allman Brothers Band, Duane Allman, one of the guitarists, dying in a motorcycle accident, Southern rock was losing its momentum going into the 80s, with the exception of Texas's ZZ Top, who flourished in the decade and gained great popularity with their music videos in the MTV era. Stevie Ray Vaughan also gained great popularity, and though really a blues guitarist, did create songs that had a same style that the Southern rock fans would love. From the 90s to the present day, country music has begun to expand to blend with genres of folk rock, singer-songwriter, and soft rock to the point where it is hard to tell the difference. They are all widely considered just rock or country music now. I believe this has happened with Southern rock as well. Many country artists began using heavier guitar sounds. Soon Southern rock and the broadened country were almost the same. I think that is why it is hard to find just a clear-cut Southern rock band. Southern rock or other bands that combine Southern rock elements with other subgenres of rock. Recently that have come out are the Kings of Leon, Black Crowes, Kid Rock, and Pantera. And I'm saying recently as in since the 90s till present day, because some of those bands are fairly old by now. Southern rock has lately been fading in and out of popularity, but undisputedly, there is a great fan base, including myself, that will always enjoy the genre of music. I hope that I've raised your interest in the style of rock music. Now that you know most of the bands that shape the genre, you can not only enjoy the vast catalog of the old bands, but search out the great bands that you may have overlooked.